This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to Amazon Web Services. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the one more important storage which is called file storage. The concept name is service name is file storage. Right. In the file storage, AWS service name is EFS, Elastic File System. So this Elastic File System completely depending on Linux NFS server. But what is NFS server? NFS means network file system in the Linux. Network file system. Actually, NFS is used to share files between servers. I mean, it is called what between Linux computers. So you want to share files throughout network, any Unix to Linux or Linux to Unix platforms, then we'll use the word NFS. So here the EFS also completely depending on NFS because NFS is a file system, file storage. That is the what EFS, Elastic File Storage. So EFS provides scalable file storage for EC2 instances and on-premises resources. But remember this point: EFS for EC2 instances. Okay, so we can attach multiple EC2 instances to EFS as a centralized file storage. I mean, EFS is a centralized file storage. This file storage can be attached to multiple EC2 Linux instances because this EFS doesn't support for Windows file systems because NFS even supports homogeneous environment. I mean, to share the files in the same family like Unix family machines. And EFS is growing and shrinking automatically as you add and remove files. As you add and remove files. So what is meaning? So by default, EFS file system size is 6 KB. 6 KB. So based on your adding and removing file sizes, automatically the file system will increase and decrease. I mean, the file system size, it will add and remove based on your loading and removing files. For example, the Google Drive initial size is 0. So if you add 1 GB files, then it will load the what 1 GB. If you add 2 GB, then it will 2 GB. So like based on your uploading file sizes, the size will be increase and decrease. Same way, EFS is a centralized storage. This centralized storage file system size is initially 6 KB. That 6 KB will increase based on your adding and removing files. Then the advantage is you pay only for the storage used by your file system. I mean, you need to pay for what you use. For example, the difference between EBS and EFS here in the EBS file storage, I mean EBS block storage, the volume size, for example, you have been created 5 GB. Then even if you store 1 GB files out of 5 GB, they will charge for 5 GB, but not for 1 GB because you have been created volume size with 5 GB. But they are adding the what based on they are charged not based on your files, what you have been created volume size. I mean, they will charge for completely 5 GB. But here, this is the what the charges are based on your adding and removing file systems. I mean, if you add 1 GB file, then they will charge for 1 GB. If you add 2 GB, then they will charge for 2 GB like that. And finally, EFS supports the network file system protocol. So that is the point. NFS version 4 protocol. So what is the port number of NFS? Anyone? What is the port number of NFS?
049.
2049. Very good. So NFS port number is 2049. So that same port number here we need to add in the security group because this EFS is also file storage. NFS is also file storage. So this EFS designed based on Linux NFS file system. So that's why in the security group we need to add the word the port number of NFS which is called 2049. Again, the regular port number for Linux SSH 22 for remote connection. So we need to add two port numbers in the security group. One is SSH 22, another one is NFS 2049. But what is the note point here? Microsoft Windows based EC2 instances are not supported because NFS supports only homogeneous environment but not support heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means it will not share from Linux to Windows, Unix to Windows like that. So cross-platform doesn't support only same family platforms. I mean Unix to Unix, Unix to Linux, these kind of platforms only. Right. Then next, what are the benefits for creating NFS system? So now the benefits are simple, easily to create, and shared file storage. Correct, it is a centralized file storage, so that storage we can attach to multiple EC2 instances, means multiple instances can access the what same file system. It is a seamless integration, I mean you can integrate multiple instances, automatically scales. So that means you can up and down, it will, like it is called up and down based on the what workloads, like it is called what the size will increase and decrease based on the what your file system size, and scalable performance, and very low cost compared to EBS, and highly available and durable. I mean, you can create the word that file system on different availability zones. So even one zone is failure, the second zone offers the word availability. Then easily to secure. Okay, because you can create your word file system under the word custom VPC, definitely it will secure it. Then EFS offers two types of performance modes. Remember this point. So generally it supports two types of performances. One is general purpose, second one is max input output. So general purpose, max input output. What is the difference between general purpose and max input output? So general purpose mode is ideal for latency sensitive use cases, like when you are looking for web serving environments and content management systems. So these kind of situations you will select the word general purpose. I mean no need much more performance. It is called what just web based performance we require. Then we'll go for the word general purpose mode. And max input output means like when you are looking the what high performance level, then scale to higher levels of aggregate throughput and operations per second. Then like big data analysis, media processing, definitely we need to select the what max input output systems. So that is called what compared to general purpose, little bit high performance. So these are the what two performance based on your workloads. You have to choose the what performance modes. But once performance mode is selected, I mean, if we create a file system with any one performance mode, we cannot change after the file system has been created. I mean, we cannot change the word performance mode after you have been created the word file system. And finally, throughput modes. So again, throughput modes are two types in the EFS. One is bursting mode and second one is provisioned mode. So bursting mode means like throughput scales with file system size in the standard storage class grows. I mean, what is the standard class? So, for example, your storage is the word standard class. I mean, S3 in the storage classes are there. Standard IA, one zone IA, glacier, like different storage classes are there. So here, standard storage class goes are what under bursting mode. By default, the storage class is standard. When the file system size is fixed with standard storage, then go for the what bursting. Otherwise, you can select the what provision mode. So provision modes are throughput fixed at a specific amount of your file system. Throughput fixed at specified amount of your file system. So these are the what two types of throughput modes. One is bursting, even second one is provision. But even you have been created any file system with throughput modes, we can be changed the what file. We can change the what throughput modes because these are the what modify options possible. We can change the what throughput modes, but only one option we can't be changed, which is called what performance modes. Okay, now I will show you how to create a the centralized file storage, like it is a what file system storage. First, let me create the security group. So what port numbers are recommended in the security group of EFS? So I will make it a security group. The security group name EFS. I mean Elastic File System Security Group. Elastic File System Security Group. Then I will make it under the word custom VPC. The custom VPC name is dev VPC because our VPC is the what? Dev VPC. So what are the ports we recommended? So now I have been recommend SSH port 22 and the NFS 2049. So these two ports are added. Okay, so I added two port numbers here. The port number SSH 22 and port number NFS is the what? 2049. So now I will make it your security group. Create security group. Okay, the security group is successfully created. What is the security group name? So which is called what? EFS security group. I added two port numbers SSH and NFS. So based on this security group, I will make it your centralized file system, which is called what? EFS. But where is the EFS under storage? EFS is there. What is the EFS? It will manage file storage for EC2. So this storage we will manage through EC2 instances. That's why EFS is for EC2 instances. Then EFS create file system. So now these are the what options. Write your file system name and select the what VPC, then it will create it. But I want to select the what customize options. So that's why I will select the what customize. Select customize is the good idea. What is the file system name? Okay, the file system name is okay. It is a my share, for example, my share because centralized storage name. But here storage class types are two types. If you want to create this file system on multiple availability zones, select standard. Otherwise, you can select the what one zone. One zone means the data will stores within a single availability zone. Okay. If you want to you want secure, then you will select the what standard. Then, do you want to keep the what any backups of this file system? I mean, point in time backups. Do you need any snapshot? No, I don't need any snapshot for the storage. Then, what is the lifecycle management? So here, transition into one IA, transition out of a 1A. I mean, so the transition files from standard to standard infrequent access. So now you know that in the S3, like it is called what? You want to migrate data standard to standard IA after 30 days. Then we recommend it. Or 7 days since last access. Then 7 days means we cannot access the data 7 days continuously. Then data will migrate to standard IA like that. Okay, the data will migrate automatically. So standard to standard IA after 30 days since last access. I mean, if you don't access 30 days that data, the data will migrate from standard to standard IA like that. Okay, here is the word performance modes. General purpose mode, max input mode. I told you. So select the word here general purpose and throughput mode is the word bursting mode. Okay, I don't need any encryption options. So please be uncheck this encryption option. Otherwise, they will charge it. Okay, fine. Then click on next option. And the next one is here security options, network access. In the network access, so I want to create this VPC on dev VPC. So because I want to create a file system on my custom VPC, the VPC name is dev VPC. The VPC name is dev VPC. Then what are the mount targets in the VPC? So you know that in the VPC we have been created four mount targets. What are that? US East 1A and 1B. These two are the what? public subnet 1 and public subnet 2, and private subnet 1 and private subnet 2 running on 1C and 1D. That's why in the WPC it's listed 4 availability zones. Okay, now I'll remove the word each default security group. Then what is the meaning here? Okay, in the VPC, what are the mount targets should be enabled your file system? I mean, what are the instances are running on US East to 1A and US East to 1C? So now these two availability zone instances can access my mount pointer. I mean, can access my file system. So here I selected two mount targets, US East 1A and 1C. What is the meaning? These two availability zone instances can access my EFS file system. Okay, because I removed 1B and 1C targets. Even you want to add that, like you can add the word 1B and we can add the word remaining also like. Okay, but security reason I will use the word 1A and 1C. So in the 1A, what security group it's running? Okay, the security group name is EFS security group. At the same time, here is the word, the security group name is EFS security group. Okay, so now two security groups are running here. Okay, so US is to 1A and US is to 1C. These two security group instances are can access my EFS file storage. Then click on next, and no need any policies here, directly click on next, and here just review and create the what your file system name. I specify the file system name my share. The performance mode is general purpose and throughput mode is bursting, and I disable the what encryption option, and transition after 30 days to standard IA, and automatic backups are no, and VPC ID is specified the VPC, and availability zone is standard, like I specified everything fine. And then finally create your file system. So now the file system is being to create. Okay, what is the file centralized file system name? My share. So now if I refresh, then my share is what going to create. I mean successfully created the availability zone. Okay, what is the file system size? Initially the file system size is 6 KB. Okay, now if I do that, here see, performance mode is general purpose, and what automatic enable disable, and throughput mode is bursting, like each and every option is available here. And now the options are meterized size, I mean the description of the file system. So what is the user size here in the standard or one zone IA? This is the what sizes, and you can to monitoring that. So now what is the IOPS and what is the size of the utilization, like everything you can monitor here. And file system policy I didn't write, but access points for like accessing the what mount point, no need like that. And what network you have been selected, I successfully selected the VPC network is the what dev VPC, and the dev VPC mount targets are selected here to US East 1A and US East 1C, but still it's both are being to create. So the file system US East 1A means that is zone 10.10 series, you know that. 1C means private, which is 20.206. Okay, but you want to disable or re-enable, then we can use the what manage option. Again in the same step, see that 1A and 1C is the what here. You want to add more targets, here we can add the what targets like that. But right now no need, just I want to enable 1A and 1C. But remember, once the file system is created, so once file system is created on any preferred VPC, we cannot change the what VPC also. Okay, you know that. So we cannot change the what VPC ID, but we can change the what subnets on the subnets within the VPC only. So now two mount targets are ready. Okay, then what I told you. So once file system is created, so these file systems are running on different variables. Okay, so then here say this my share again in the what same options. So you want to attach this file system to EC2 instances, then where is the endpoint? So like here attach option is there. So this attach option offers two values, two mount targets, one two mount points, mount via DNS and mount via IP address. So either we can use DNS name or we can use the what IP address. I mean, for example, you want to connect EC to Linux server or Windows server through putty or something. Definitely you will use either domain name or IP address. Same thing here, we can use to connect either domain name or IP address. Okay. This is the command to connect. And before connecting, so now what I told you, so how to launch EC2. So because the file systems for EC2 instances, correct? So that's why I will create a one EC2 instance first. So here go to EC2, under instances, launch instances. So the instance name is Linux. Then I selected here Amazon Linux to find instance t2.micro. Then key pair name is online.key. And network settings here, I want to create instance on US East 1A or 1C because I selected two mount targets. The file system is running on US East 1A or 1C. So that's why here, where is the file system here? Okay, so the file system running on the what? US East 1A and US East 1C enabled. So that's why I will take the what network settings. So the VPC type is dev VPC. I will launch the instance either public subnet 1 or private subnet 1 because 1A or 1C. So I will go for the what public subnet 1, and then I created security group. That security group name is EFS security group because port 22 and 2049 NFS is recommended, and remaining as well as same options, and please leave it with the rest of the default options. Then launch instances. Then view all instances. Right. So the instance successfully created. Right. So just wait few seconds. Okay. The instance successfully created. Still it is booting because it is initializing. So now connect instance. Then it is a EC2 icon user. Then I'll switch to sudo space icon. Right. So the instance successfully connected. Then what to do? I mean, how to connect EFS file system to EC2 instances. So you must know the what process, how to integrate EFS file system with EC2 instances, because EFS for EC2 instances. So first very important thing, before connect, please update your server. So m update hyphen y. So we are being to update system. Then next, yum install, you want to connect it, yum install nfs-utils is the package name. NFS utils is recommended, so please be install that package because you want to connect EFS server in the EC2 instance side. We recommended NFS utils package, but which version is required? So NFS version 4 is required. But how to check the version 4 is there or not? So like it is called what, rpc info is the command to check the what version. Okay, so then it is a program version is 4. So 2 3 4 is there, but it uses the backend version 4 is default. Okay, so now nfs utils package already installed and the latest version. Okay, so then next thing is how to mount it. So first, for mounting, create a directory. What is the directory name? Okay, this is the word efs share. This is the mount point name. Okay, so how to mount it? So the command name is mount is the command. You know that how to mount NFS server mount space, NFS server address space, mount point name. Same here, we can use the mount command. Otherwise, you follow the word here under attach option of the my share. I will connect through mount via IP address. So this is the command to copy and paste it. So what is that? Copy this. But here they are provide EFS the what name of the mount point name. I mean mount point name. But we have been created EFS data. EFS share is the mount point name. I will replace this with my mount point EFS share. So copy and paste that command. Then instead of EFS, so I will use the what? My mount point name is EFS share because I want to mount this file system with the name EFS share. You can keep it any name. Then enter. Right. So now the the mounting success. So now how do you know that df-h? So like the 10.10.55 and 8 exabyte means your MyShare is centralized storage capacity is 8 exabyte, but now we are using 0 bytes. So now the total available size is exabytes. So now if you use EFS share, so I mean if I create your what files and now it is called what any other files, if you use the what store the files here, then based on your adding and removing files in the mount point, everything physically located in the MyShare because the endpoint is connected with what endpoint name? MyShare endpoint. So now what you have been added in the NFS, I mean it's called UFS data, everything is physically located on MyShare file system. This MyShare is the what? Centralized file storage. So this storage we can access multiple EC2 instances. But which EC2 instances? What are running on US East 1A and 1C because I added mount targets 1A and 1C. In case you have been enabled 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D and everyone can access because there is no any separate limitations for the EFS. Within the VPC, any instance can access based on your enabled mount targets. But in the EFS, in the EBS, what is that? The volume and instance should be running on the same zone. But here no need to running in the same availability zone. The volume here file system is running on US East 1A, even no problem. That 5 instances are within the VPC 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, anything can do it. But you should enable the what mount targets under the what networking. Okay, which EC2 instances can access like networking. Right now I enabled 1A and 1C. You want to enable 1B, 1D like manage and enable this. So mount target you can enable. Okay, you want to remove 1C, just I remove the what 1C. Then I want to enable the 1B, then here it is called what subnet, then it is called what EFS security. So then I enabled what 1B also, then save it. So like this, we can enable and disable new mount targets in the EFS. But you will locate logically through mount point. But physically, everything is located on the centralized file system storage name as MyShare because we have been created with the name MyShare. Like you can mount multiple EC2. For example, you want to access the what? This centralized storage on another instance. Then you can launch the instance within the VPC, then mount it and add it. Same way like multiple EC2 instances can access the what? The centralized file storage. This is called what? EFS. So now I will remove the what? EFS file system. So when you want to create one more EFS file system, then create your file system. Then select the what EFS and delete the what EFS. Do you want to create any final snapshot? No, I will delete that. Now it's deleting the what file system. Again, now I'm deleting the what instance. So now we are terminated. Instance has been terminated. So I mean everything is what cleaned. But guys, remember they will charge everything based on your usage only. I mean they will charge for what you use. So if you upload the what data through Mountpoint 1 GB, then they will charge for 1 GB only. But now I didn't add any files with 1 MB, 2 MB like that. So that's why it is what completely zero. That file system setup is free, but if you add something under the word file system, then based on your adding files, they will charge it. Okay, so this is called what? EFS. Then next, one more important thing, one more component under the word storage, which is called what? Snowball. Snowball, Snowmobile, Snowballage. So generally these are the what three components under the word storage, but these are not as logical services. I mean in the dashboard we don't we don't see any service name with Snowball, Snowmobile, Snowballage. But actually what is this storage? What are these storage types? Okay, so let me explain everything will clear. Generally the snowball edge, and snowmobile. So these three are the what? Data migration services. Data physical migration services. Physical migration services. For example, just please understand my points. I have a one small company which is located in Madhapur, for example, which is located in Madhapur. So I have around, for example, some storage boxes like 2 terabyte, 1 petabyte, like different storage, because my company is completely storage related storage related services. But every day we are facing some issues in the building. What are the issues? Maybe power issues, maybe not good internet connections, and maybe we are facing, maybe the building is old building, so that's why we are trying to migrate in the new building. So like that we are facing every day an issue in the company. So customers are shouting, what happened, what are the storage like updates, and why need to stop the what boxes, like that they are asking the what things. Okay, then my company planning, what is the planning, how to migrate this data physically from this company to maybe any service provided storage cloud. I mean AWS is offers like services to migrate data physically from one location to another location. I mean I talked to Amazon team. What is that? We are planning to migrate data in your data centers. Then they will provide like Snowball is the service, Snowmobile is the Snowball Edge is the service, and Snowmobile is the what? One more service. Okay, just like how can you choose these three services? I mean, we are looking for you are looking for change your house, for example. So how can you book a travel vehicle? How to book a vehicle? Based on your luggage, you will go for auto, or you will go for the what truck. I mean, it is called what semi truck, or based on your luggage, you will book the what lorry also. Same way, how can you transfer in the data physically from your company to Amazon data centers? Then Snowball is the one service. So you will talk to Amazon team. Okay, in my company, I have around 15 terabyte data is there. So then which service you will provide to transfer the data physically from here to there? So then Snowball is the service, because a Snowball is a petabyte scale data transport solution that uses secure appliances to transfer large amount of data onto, into, and out of the AWS cloud. It is a hardware appliances, I mean dedicated device, shipping information via embedded Kindle. The use case is what? Migrating data between on-prem, I mean your company to, and AWS on-premises environment to your AWS. So AWS will offer like just like a box. In this box, they will keep it the what your storage boxes, and they will physically migrate your storage boxes from your company to AWS data center. In case your data is little bit high, then your plan is Snowball Edge. So when the data is not less than 50 terabyte, my data is maybe more than 100 terabyte, then we'll go for Snowball Edge. It is a large component compared to Snowball. So AWS Snowball Edge is like a upgraded version of a regular Snowball. So the regular, like it is a upgraded version of the auto, like it is a van like that. So the regular Snowball has only 50 terabytes, I mean the Snowball is up to 50 terabytes. But when you are looking for more than 50 or 80 terabytes, you will go for the what? Snowball Edge is the component. So it also provides a durable local storage and has the ability to transfer files through NFS with a GUI. Okay, so even they will provide, they will transferring the data centralized devices. So like just now I told you NFS, I mean NFS is what? Centralized storage. Through internet they will provide, they will transfer the data like that. So mostly they are preferred to physical. And now, sir, I have not 80, 10, 100 terabyte, I have a petabytes of data, then they will provide a one semi truck like this. So that is called what? Snow Mobile. So Snow Mobile is basically just a truck operated by AWS personnel. So focused on massive data transfer. So you want to massive data transfer, then we'll go for the what? Snow Mobile. A semi-trailer truck pulling a 45-foot long rugged shipable container which contains your data. I mean the semi-truck is what? 45 foot. I mean feet semi-truck in container. So this container contains your data. So this truck will travel the what? Your data physically from your company to Amazon nearest data center. So it is an exabyte scale data transfer service. You can transfer up to 100 petabyte for Snowball. So what is the security while transferring the data? So like your data is encryption, and GPS tracking is there, and video surveillance is there, and accompanying personnel is there, and accompanying security vehicle if desired. So these are the what? Securities while transferring your data. So these are the what? Three components. But these are the what? Physical services. These services are not visible under the AWS dashboard, because these are the what? Physical data migration services. So now we recommended data transfer from your company to AWS data center. We need to contact AWS support team. They will provide the what? Service based on your luggage. I mean based on your storage data. So these are the what? Three different components. Okay, so this is the word Snowball, Snowmobile, Snowball Edge. So these are overall storage concepts. Okay, everyone must understand block storage and file storage difference, and block storage and object storage difference, and object storage and file storage difference. Okay, everyone must understand. So again, I will helps you. So how to differentiate block storage and file storage, because these are the what? A little bit relation. So I told you in the previous last lecture, I mean it is a EBS and EFS, both are the file systems. I mean EBS is the block storage for EC2 instances, but EFS also file storage for EC2 instance. That is the block storage, this is the file storage. But block storage responsibility is what? Every block storage support for installing applications, creating databases, and like uh, data is moving in the block level and mainly creating supported file systems. So that is called what block storages. I mean, the OS is building on block storages, applications installing on block storages. But here file storage doesn't support like for installations like that. What is the file storage? File storage for centralized storage. File storage, sorry, so file storage for not file storage as a centralized storage. I mean, multiple systems can access the what same storage, but EBS doesn't support one volume to multiple instances. But both are should be accessed through OS only. Means must be attached both volumes like file system and volumes to EC2 instances. But EBS volumes are support only one volume to one instance. But here one file system support to multiple instances. But EBS can access even from Windows and Linux. But here we can access only from Linux instances. But EBS not recommended any port number because it is a volume. That volume attached to instance and connect instance over the port number 22, and you can manage the instance. You can manage the storage. But here you want to access the what file storage. We recommended the what the NFS version 4 protocol because it support to Linux systems. So that's why we must attach the port number in the security group NFS of 2049. But if you create any file, any volume with 5 GB, then they will charge for 5 GB entire. But here the file system size is initially 0, then the charges based on your adding and removing file sizes. So these are the what major differences of EBS and EFS. Are you clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Right.